New tonight, at least one mystery now appears to be finally solved. It involves a pilot from Marysville and his crew. Mike McCarthy shares their legacy and a new mission for closure.
I love photographs. That makes a home.
Pictures help give life focus.
What's more important than family?
And Ellen Vinson has her Florida home.
Those are great.
Stocked full.
Those are just the grandkids.
Of colorful moments.
They're not ornery.
And a focus clear as black and white.
We're talking about John Lawrence Porter. He was a pilot in World War II.
Captain John Porter's life began in central Ohio. He's from Marysville. And for those who preserve its past, his reputation stands as strong as the stone, memorializing his service and others.
Typically, most people don't know.
Military historian Bo Johnstone runs the Union County Historical Society.
He graduated from the Army Air Corps Pilot School in about 8 months, and it usually took about 2 years. He must have known how to be a pilot beforehand.
John Porter was not an ordinary pilot.
His skills and heroics became the focus of stories far beyond the local Evening Tribune. But before all that came a story of love, with a marriage at an Ohio State sorority house just days after Pearl Harbor. Captain Porter's bride would one day be Ellen Vinson's mom.
And the older I got, I asked things about him, and she told me that she'd been married before she married my father, and she was married to a brave pilot who was shot down.
Captain Porter served in India. He flew what was known as the Hump, a risky route over the Himalayan mountains, taking supplies to the Chinese in the fight against Japan.
So it was the most dangerous supply route flown in the whole Second World War.
Historians note crashes were so common, the route earned the name the Aluminum Trail.
Because of the terrain, because of just the enemy that was there and things like that, absolutely.
It was time for change. Captain Porter pioneered the region's first organized American air search and rescue crew while making sure his wife knew.
And darling, I'm going to run it and make such a name for the outfit that you'll be hearing about it back home.
And Captain Porter's crew got its name from his hometown nickname.
It's true.
Blackie.
And nobody else ever did what he did.
Blackie's gang saved more than 120 airmen from more than 50 crashes in just 3 months, right up to the day
It was December 10th,
Captain Porter
1943,
died.
on their second wedding anniversary.
Ellen Vinson's mom became a widow when Japanese fighters attacked Captain Porter's plane in the middle of an attempted rescue. 4 members of Blackie's gang died too,
Captain Porter and Sergeant Niebler now listed killed in action.
including Sergeant Harold Niebler
She's my uncle, yeah.
and friend
Yep.
of Captain Porter from all the way back in Marysville
Here's a picture of him on the football team.
High School.
That's Harold, yeah. And then Johnny Porter is here.
Their loss has been the focus for much of Sharon Niebler-Kuntz's life.
I still can feel the pain that I experienced from my grandmother. It was so devastating to her.
And for nearly 70 years, the return of Sergeant Niebler, Captain Porter, and his crew seemed unlikely at best,
Yes,
impossible
yes.
at times.
Right.
They were lost somewhere in the jungles near the China-India border.
Here's one of the propellers.
And that's where a professional adventurer from Arizona entered this picture.
Clayton, who is this mountain climber, had heard about aircraft that was in Indochina.
Clayton Cools has focused on searching the eastern Himalayas. Traveling with local porters, he's identified more than 20 missing crashes.
It's the C-46 engine.
He's even found remains of American airmen.
At this plane crash, I was fortunate enough to find an ID tag belonging to one of the crewmen.
This latest discovery, he believes, belonged to Blackie's gang.
Oh, I'm 100% confident.
Cools has not yet found remains of Captain Porter or his crew. For that, the site needs to be excavated. And in the more than 7 years since he found this crash, the U.S. government has only begun its recovery effort.
It's not a priority, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's politics.
But Ellen Vinson knew the right thing was clear as black and white.
A couple of months ago, my husband and I made the decision that we were going to fund the return.
I mean, she has been relentless in trying to get them brought home. I just very impressed with her. She just doesn't let up.
I'm always geared up and ready to go.
Cools has volunteered to lead an expedition back to this site this fall, certain of what he'll find.
All the remains are there. There's nowhere they can go. They have to be there. If I can find that dog tag there amongst the records, then you can bet that the remains are there as well.
John Porter and Harold Niebler are Marysville's hometown heroes. We can't repay their sacrifice. The least we can do is bring them home.
And after focusing for so long on the unknown,
Anything that I have.
Ellen Vinson feels close enough now she can't help but picture Captain Porter and Sergeant Niebler finally at rest, finally at home.
I think it'll happen in 2019.
Mike McCarthy, ABC 6 News.